Hello guys, so if you recall, last week I started doing the horizontal migration in this bin. This is the 1001 Red Wiggler Cocoon bin. If I can get this thing to open. There we go. And I moved all the material to one side and feeding the opposite side so that we can get the worms to migrate, so we can harvest this with a minimal amount of worm disturbance. But I'm also going to split this bin, and I don't need to wait too long to get some worms out of there. I'm sure that quite a few of them have made their way. It's been 1 week, but yeah, they're tempted by the food, tempted by the bedding. So that's all the time we need to get these guys out of here and into the new bin, which is ready for them right over here. So let me do that first. Here we have some nice moist bedding that has been sitting here for this is now 2 weeks that it's been sitting here in this bin. And what I'm going to do right now, if I can do this with one hand, is I'm going to give them a little bit of food. Let's see how that is. Okay. So I want them to have a nice homecoming, or in this case, new homecoming. And I want to make sure that they have something that will tempt them, and they'll be able to settle in and settle down quickly. So we've got a little bit of food for them, and I'm thinking that I'll just deposit them right here. I'm going to grab a handful. And we will set them down here. You can see how well this method works, because this has just been 1 week. Here's another handful. And I think this would be perfect for them. That's enough, I think. We will leave them alone. And then here we're going to continue feeding this one side because we want to harvest. So let me get some more moist bedding and food, and we will wrap this update up. Okay, so I'm going to give them a little bit more moist bedding. I want to make sure that it's all nice and healthy for them. If I just put more and more food without adding any bedding, I don't think it's very healthy. So we're going to give them more food to entice them over. The ones that are actually still migrating from this area. And some more buffer, keep everything nice and neutral. And then some more moist bedding on top. Very good. And I'm going to cover this up again with this moist paper. get these guys moving out of here. But in just 1 week, you can see how many worms have migrated. Now there are a lot of worms still here, but it takes time for them to move over. This side is not being fed, so naturally they will move to the side with the food, and this side will get worked over little by little by the worms remaining before they too will migrate to the food. And this also helps the material to dry out. Now I don't need my material to dry out. I don't keep it very wet, but if you do, this is a perfect time for your material to air out. You can come here and you can sort of sift it through your hands, lift it up from the bottom and get air to the bottom there. And by the time you're ready to harvest and sift this, it will be nice and flaky for you and should be easy for you to harvest. So that's our update and our split, and we'll come back and see how these guys are doing next week. Thanks for joining me.